So I remember when I first started programming, I worked the graveyard shift for this major retail outlet, and I worked at the data center. And so what we would do is we would have to balance all these jobs to make sure that we had all the inputs and outputs that we were supposed to. And so we would take the outputs from one job and we would have to grab some figures to balance to the inputs for the next job. To do that, what we'd have to do is we'd print these huge reports, and we'd have to dig through the reports to a particular page. We'd have to find some number or numbers, and we'd write it down, and then we'd start the next job, and then we'd have to make sure that the inputs for that balanced to the outputs that came from that previous. Well, it took forever to do it, and so what I did was I wrote a small program that took and parsed the file and found those numbers within the report so that we didn't even have to print it, and then it would store that, and then we could compare those numbers for the next job, and we could compare it on screen. Well, it was a huge time saver. They loved it, and it was my first foray into programming, and I just really loved it. So that's the way programs are. So many times people feel like that programs have to be these huge things that, like a Microsoft Excel or Word or Apple's iOS or something like that. But a program can be something really small. So imagine all the things that you do on a daily basis where you have to grab numbers, you have to take and run some Excel spreadsheet, and you have to do some manipulation, to try to figure out what you need to be doing next. Instead, Data Magic could write you a program to do that particular thing. And so something that might take you a day, an hour, a week to gather, you could run this program and do it in minutes. So you can concentrate on what you need to do for your business rather than having to collect data.